once again, I guess it says Winnipeg no matter how I put it down. Okay, the Winnipeg Jets. I'll let you look at that this time. Welcome to The Sun is Trying to Shine, Winnipeg. Or maybe I should say finally shining. We won't go into that. Can't really show you a sunrise today. It's nice now, but it wasn't first thing this morning. Anyway, yeah, well, we're all soldered up here on the, that, I don't know what you would call that. I know what it was for. I know it went on the top of the funnel and you'd put a canvas over top of it to keep the rain from going down the funnel when you were, I was going to say parked. I don't think parked is the right word. Docked. Anyway, every time I use this thing, somebody comments, and I usually get quite a few comments on this, because it actually works quite well. And in yesterday's comments, somebody asked me, what size is this bearing? So I said, well, I'll measure it in today's episode, which I'm going to do. And then earlier this morning, I was thinking, this is so hard to hold on to. The idea of this nail, this bent spike, it was just a quick way of getting it to so I could use it. But it's not a good idea. So earlier this morning I cut this piece of wood, and we're going to deal with that later. But why don't we sort of just quickly roll back to how it is we got to finishing this up, and we actually got started a little bit on some of the ladders, which I bent the wrong way. But you'll be seeing that in the rollback. So let's roll back. Okay, it is very late in the afternoon here, and I thought you might like to see the very last connection being soldered, and that's this one right here. I'm going to try and do it quickly before the heat has a chance to travel along from this solder joint to this one here, which is not protected by the heat sink. So here we go. This is the last one. Okay, I'm sitting here at the computer right now and I'm editing out this last scene, and I'm realizing this is not good. Yeah, and that was that last soldering job that you saw me do there, I did it so quickly, it is what I call a cold weld. Now, I didn't see it until I was editing out that clip, and then I saw what you saw. Anyway, what I did was I went over it, I redid it, and the one just to the right of it, it was just hanging on by a thread, you might say. So I redid that one as well. Anyway, we pretty much got it now. Now, is it possible that I have glued these pipes on in the wrong place, and they should have been more offset so that the spider legs aren't going to bump on them? I have not tried this. You're going to see it along with me for the first time here. Now, can we make this look believable? Well, yes and no. Okay, I can see what I'm going to have to do here. At least I think I can see what I'm going to have to do. I think what we're going to have to do is break these end pipes loose and just shove them over a little bit. They're not glued really solidly against the inside of the funnel, but I think they were supposed to come out just like this one. Actually, both of them maybe. Yeah, so I try to put this on straight. It just doesn't really, it doesn't go down all the way. Pardon my big fingers here. Yeah, you just can't quite get it exactly square on this oval-shaped ring that it's sitting on here. Excuse me, my voice is going again. Well, that's not too bad like that. Is it down on this side? Yeah, it was until I poked at it. Oh, well, maybe it'll be all right. Anyway, we'll worry about it after everything is painted. We don't want to be gluing it on right now because I want to be able to paint the inside. Probably black, flat black, and soot black. And then it could be that this ring on the top here should be black as well. Flat black, but then of course the rest of the funnel, the sides, are going to be the number 66. So maybe these platforms I'll do the 77. I think that was the darker gray. And then we got right here is searchlights go right there. Anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's. I think we're done with this. I really do. I think we're done with this. I don't think I can improve on it anymore. Okay, we've done all this. Now these ladders. Okay, if we put them the way the drawing is. Maybe I'll use a pair of tweezers that are a little smoother. Those other ones are catching in the paper. Okay, there we go. Now, it appears that what we want to do is make this look like this. And we have to fold it towards the folding lines. Okay, I believe that the folding lines are on the other side. I would think. Now to make this yeah, the folding lines are on this side, so it has to fold this way, and then this little end here has to fold up. I think we'll use Andy's bender, or at least we'll lay it on Andy's bender. Now, should we bend the railing towards the ladder or the ladder towards the railing? It might go easier to go like this. Okay, let's stick on the macro lens, and that way we can watch it being bent wrong up close. Now, you would think that sharp blade would go underneath the edge there, wouldn't you? But it just doesn't want to. Oh, sorry, Andy, I scratched it. There we go. Now, just bring that at 90 degrees. I think that what is bending is only what is supposed to be bending. somehow this unusual railing is supposed to fasten onto the side of the funnel. Now right here, this has to be bent, I believe, the other way. I believe it gets bent back, but I'm not sure. No, I'm hoping I bent this the right way. If I didn't, then we'll use it for the one that has to go on the other side, because I think we have to do a mirror image, a set of ladders that are mirror image, and they go on both sides, only opposite. Okay, let's see how that looks in comparison to the drawing. I do believe I've bent it the wrong way. It looks mirror image to this drawing. So that will mean that we have to bend the other one then the wrong way and use it here, because if we bend the other one the wrong way, it'll be the right way for here. I hope they're exactly the same. It looks like they are. Well, I think we've done pretty good here this afternoon. And I think it's getting late. And I think we're going to have to say, we'll see you in the morning. Well, it is morning. And we're going to set this to metric, because the person that was asking is a metric person. I know. I have a lot of these. That's why I use this particular one. I do have a few smaller ones, but I sort of want to save them for something important. You know, that's the way I think when it comes to using something. If I've only got one or two of it and a lot of something else, I'll use the something else, because I think maybe in the far off future I'm going to want this particular little tiny bearing, and I won't have it because I'll have lost it in whatever I'm making up here. Anyway, I know that it's the imperial. It's just a smidgen over a ½ an inch in diameter. But I'm going to do metric now, and we'll go the outside diameter. Okay, it's 12.97 millimeters outside. I hope you can read that. Let me see my. Oh yeah, all right. It grew. It's oh, there we go. 9.8. It's call it 9.8. All right. Yeah, I can't see how the reflection's going unless I'm looking back in my monitor there. Okay, now that's the outside diameter. The width is almost 5 millimeters. Okay, that's the width. And the inside diameter what do we got there? 3.9. Anyway, but as I think I said at the beginning, and if I didn't, I should have. It doesn't have to be this size. It can be smaller. Smaller would actually be better. But I was thinking that being as this is so hard to hold on to, it was not a good idea. You know, I don't know why I did that. I should have made it properly. I guess I must have been in a hurry. I just grabbed a spike down in my workshop, and I bent it into shape and cut the head off of it, and you know, I stuck this on, and it did work, but it's not balanced, and you have a tendency to want to, you know, get it crooked, and it's just hard to hold on to. So what I did was, a couple hours ago, I went down to my workshop, and I cut this piece of wood. This is what's called monkey wood or monkey pod wood. And I used to use it in pen turning, and it has a nice rich color to it. This pen here that I turned is that monkey pod wood. It has a really nice, rich, dark. Uh, it's sort of it's pretty tight grain. It's not the same kind of grain like oak or anything like that, but it's quite nice. And yeah, at least I think it's nice. Okay, uh, let's recompose here and drill this out. It'll be a sort of a woodworking show today. Well, at least the beginning of it. Then we'll get back to the model. Okay, I've already made a little mark there where I want to drill. And I think if I go nice and slow, I'm not going to split this monkey wood. This monkey wood drills very powdery and sands very powdery. I think I've got it more or less square here. Yeah, that should come down in the right place. I don't want to be too far out to the end or it's not going to be very strong, although I can strengthen it with the CA thin. Okay, let's move in here. And here we go. Now the diameter of the bit that I drilled this hole with was a 9/64. Now you can see here that this is not going to work. It's got to be trimmed down here. So we're just going to do a little cutting here. I don't know why I've got my blade adjusted like this. But I think if I'm careful, I should be able to saw it without buckling it. Now I could sand this too, but this is more fun. Let's move in a little bit. I don't know if I mentioned it, but this wood is very hard. I'm just going to eyeball it here. Doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, now we'll take a little bit of sandpaper and kind of round that over just a little bit, and then we'll put it together and see how it's going to work. And I'll explain to you why, well, I think you probably already got it figured out, why I want to have this instead of this. Well, this is garbage now. You know, I'd forgotten how much sandpaper I've got down in the basement in the workshop. This is 120 grit. I could probably start a small manufacturing business down there with sandpaper. Anyway, just take the sharp edges off. There. Now if I want to take it back to the store for a refund, they'll never know. Now I suppose I could go down the workshop and cut this spike off, but I probably won't bother. Yeah, that's going to work. Now, there is something that I want to mention. If you do make one of these, one of the things that you have to do, like when I was rolling out the legs on that spider, you have to let whatever it is that you're bending curl up behind you. If you hold it down and pull away like this, what it does is, yes, it curls it momentarily, but then it straightens it back out again as you're going along. So you have to let whatever it is curl up behind the bearing. But this is going to be a lot easier to hold on to now. What was happening before, as I said, it was too hard to hold it straight, and it kept rocking over side to side, whereas this is absolutely perfect. So this is probably what I'll be using on the Iowa. I think the Iowa has one of those things too. Okay, I took out a moment here and I checked the Iowa's manual, and it's not photo etch. Bonus, it's plastic. E20. We already know that the Yamato doesn't. Their thing that goes over the top of the funnel is made of plastic. They finally smartened up. Okay. So yesterday evening, what I did was I broke these 4 vent pipes loose from the sides of the funnel, and I moved them in. And my thinking is, and I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know, but I'm thinking that this might fit on there better now. Now maybe it won't, but I think it will. I think it can be adjusted here. Now I can see where this one and this one, quite clear the spider legs, whereas the ones on the end, I'm not sure. Are they? Maybe our angle isn't quite right here to see. Yeah, they're more or less clearing it. Okay, yeah, I think that this can be glued down. Not right now, of course, but I think when the time comes, we'll be able to get it to be much more believable. If anyone was to look that close, that is. Now, mind you, this part right here, and the inside of the funnel, and this ring all the way around the outside is going to be flat black anyway. So it's not like this was all different shades of gray or something, and everything stood out. Everything's going to sort of blend together. So I think it's going to be all right. Okay, now put this off to the side carefully, and let's see if we can. Not this one. See if we can maybe get this ladder bent correctly. Okay, on this one you can see the folding lines where these little, you might say tabs or whatever, of the top of the bottom of the ladder, in this case I believe, it has to be bent up. And on this end there's just the one right there. It has to be bent up. So if we envision it, you can see them right there. There's 1, 2, and 3. So that would mean that if this ladder was tipped, let me get a pair of tweezers here. Okay, so if the ladder was tipped like that, so that these things here are going to be at the right orientation, maybe these are not good tweezers, they're going to end up bending it, then that would mean that this railing has to be bent back. Okay, now I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure I've got my orientation right here, and I know what I'm going to be doing. So we're going to want to bend this back. Not towards the folding lines, as I had thought before. I think that's what threw me. Yes, these ones go towards the folding lines, but the railing on the stringer of the ladder goes away from the folding lines. I guess when they manufacture these things, it's pretty hard to get folding lines on two different sides, if you know what I mean. Anyway, let's just bend it and see what we can do here. You know what? I do not believe this. I have bent it wrong. I was thinking that this railing right here, I thought it was attached to this stringer, but it was actually attached to this one.
Maybe you should stick to woodworking.
I'm seeing that now. But as you can see, I've got it the other way around. So okay, well, you know what? I think it's time to wrap this episode up here. I'm pretty sure I will be able to use this ladder on the opposite side of the funnel, because like I mentioned before, we're going to be making another set of these that are mirror image, and hopefully they're the exact same size. And if they're not, well, it's not the end of the world, and even if these ladders weren't on there, nobody would notice. But you do notice them if they are on there, let's put it that way. They do add to the detail, so I want to try and do my best here. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody, and all being well, we'll be seeing you tomorrow.